Dear students, in the previous class we have discussed a lot about enzyme catalysis, and also we have derived the Michaelis-Menten equation. In this equation, in this class we will discuss some aspects of Michaelis-Menten equation. So I would like to recollect you the Michaelis-Menten equation. So it is about the enzyme catalyzed reaction. Enzymes are proteinaceous substance acts as a catalyst in biological reactions. They have enormous reaction rate when compared to inorganic catalyst. So enzymes react with a substrate to give you enzyme substrate complex. Forward reaction rate constant is K1 and reverse reaction rate constant is K2. So the substrate in the second step decomposes to give you the product. Okay, rate of the reaction is equal to K2 into ES, K2 into substrate complex. So finding the substrate concentration is, enzyme substrate intermediate complex concentration is very difficult because it is a short-lived, and the moment it is formed it gets a decomposed. So hence we used steady state approximation to find this ES, enzyme substrate intermediate complex. Then finally we substituted in the equation. Now after substitution, rate of the reaction changes K2 concentration of E0 into S divided by K2 into M. So K2 E0 S divided by Km S plus S. So you have already derived this equation. Now we are going to have some discussion on this final equation. Okay. So you already know that E0 is the total enzyme concentration, S is the substrate concentration, Km is the Michaelis constant. Km is the Michaelis constant. K2 is the rate constant in the rate determining step. Okay. So in this step we have derived this equation. Okay. And in place of ES, so when the substrate concentration is maximum, that is when the substrate constant rate is maximum, when the rate is maximum at maximum velocity, say for example V max, okay, that means the total enzyme concentration becomes equal. The total enzyme concentration is equal to E0 is equal to ES. So we have already derived E0 is equal to E plus ES. Okay. So in this equation, this we have already previously substituted in this in between step and derived. Okay. E0 is the total enzyme concentration. E is the free enzyme, available enzyme for further reaction. E is the enzyme substrate complex. So when a reaction proceeds at maximum substrate concentration, when a reaction proceeds at a maximum substrate concentration, then there won't be any free enzyme available. There won't be any free enzyme available. Say for example, I have this, this is an enzyme, okay, enzyme, these are the substrates. Okay, so the enzyme substrate react with the active centers of the enzyme to form a occupy the surface. Okay, and form an intermediate complex. So when the substrate is very low concentration, there may be some possible vacant sites and reactive vacant sites. Okay, when the substrate concentration is very high, there won't be any free enzyme available. The enzyme sites, the available enzymatic sites at maximum substrate concentration is 0. So there won't be any free enzyme available, and hence this term E becomes a 0. Therefore, I can write E0 equal to ES. Okay. So if I substitute this in this equation, E0, ES is equal to E0, rate becomes equal to K2 into E0. Instead of ES, I can write a E0. Okay. And this rate is called Vmax. Rate proceeds at a maximum speed. So Vmax, formula for Vmax is equal to K2 into E0. Okay. So if I can now substitute, rate equal to Vmax K2 E0. In place of K2 E0, I can substitute this Vmax in this equation. Now the rate changes to rate of the enzyme catalyst reaction. Vmax concentration of S divided by Km plus S. Okay. So the now Michaelis-Menten equation is modified as Vmax S Km plus S at its maximum speed. Okay. Now this K2 is a very important constant, okay, which is called turnover number. It is called K2 is called a turnover number. What is turnover number? That is the number of active enzymatic sites, one active enzymatic site that can turn the number of substrate into product molecule. Okay, the number of active enzymatic sites that can turn the product molecules, reactant substrate into a product molecule is called a turnover number. So greater the turnover number, faster the enzymatic reaction. Okay. So turnover number for enzymatic reaction may range from 100 to 1000 normally, but it can also be as high as 10 power 5 to 10 power 6. Okay. And now let us come to the Michaelis-Menten equation, and from this equation we have we can analyze the reaction order at various substrate concentration. Okay, so if the substrate concentration is very low, okay, when compared to Michaelis constant at case 1, and the substrate concentration is very low when compared to Km, rate of the reaction become equal to Vmax into concentration of S whole divided by Km, because at very low substrate concentration it is negligible. S is negligible when compared to Km. So and hence we can call this first order reaction. This is a first order reaction with respect to substrate. Reaction is first order with respect to substrate. Okay. Okay. Now the second case, when substrate is far greater than Michaelis constant and rate becomes equal to Vmax into S divided by S. Okay, and S gets cancelled, this becomes Vmax. So when the substrate concentration is very high, rate of the reaction proceed at its maximum speed. So this is what we have discussed earlier about the Vmax, rate of the reaction. So in this case, the reaction is zero order with respect to the substrate. With respect to substrate concentration, the reaction is zero order. Okay. Now let us take up the third case. How about when the substrate is equal to Michaelis constant? Substrate concentration, if it is equivalent to Michaelis constant, then rate becomes equal to Vmax concentration of S. So when substrate, we have here K in place of substrate and plus substrate. Okay. So S plus S, Vm, Km is equal to S, and already one S is available. So now I can write this as 2S. Okay. So when I cancel these two, this become half Vmax. Half Vmax. Okay. So this is a very important parameter in which when the substrate concentration is equal to Michaelis constant, rate proceeds its half of the maximum velocity. The reaction rate is half of the maximum velocity. Okay. So this is called the half Vmax of a Michaelis-Menten equation. Okay. So I hope you are very much clear about this. Now let us draw a graph. Rate of the reaction in the y-axis and substrate concentration in the x-axis. So here I get a graph of this type. So at low substrate concentration, say this is a first case. At low substrate concentration, reaction is first order with respect to S. So here it is Vmax. Reaction is Vmax concentration of S divided by Km. Okay. At high substrate concentration, rate is equal to Vmax. That's all. Rate is equal to Vmax. At half of the, when S is equal to Km, reaction become half Vmax. Reaction become equal to half Vmax. Okay. So this is the of substrate concentration at which the reaction proceeds at its half max velocity. Okay. So again, from the graph, so the reaction is first order with respect to substrate, and it is zero order with respect to substrate. This is fractional order. S is equal to 0 to 1. Okay, S 0 to 1. Okay, order between 0 to 1. Okay, and so why the reaction enzyme catalyst reaction proceeds from first order to zero order? Okay, why the enzyme catalyst reaction moves from first order kinetics to zero order kinetics? So upon increasing the concentration of the substrate, first you will have a lot of free enzyme available, and total enzyme is equal to free enzyme concentration. Okay, so total enzyme E0 equal to E plus ES. Okay, so at the initial stage, the substrate, before the substrate reacts with the enzyme, the substrate enzyme intermediate complex may not be available. So E0 become equal to E. Okay, so at this case, the free and a lot of free enzymes are available. Hence, the reaction proceeds at a maximum speed. The free enzymes gives you a lot of reactive sites, so substrate occupies at the reactive sites, reaction proceeds at a maximum speed. Okay, but as the substrate concentration increases, the number of active site also increases slowly from 1 to 1. Okay, so at one stage all the reactive sites will be occupied, and hence the reaction proceed at its maximum speed. But even if you further increase the enzyme, if you further increase the substrate concentration, then the reaction won't increase. If you further increase the substrate concentration, the reaction won't increase because there was no available free enzyme. There is no free enzyme. All the free enzyme has been already converted into enzyme substrate complex. Is it clear? So no free enzymes are available, no reactive sites for the substrate. So if you further increase the substrate concentration beyond its maximum velocity, the reaction velocity remains constant. It won't change with respect. So the reaction is zero order with respect to substrate. So these are the informations we can get it from enzyme catalysis. Okay. So in enzyme catalysis, we have learned what is an enzyme, what is enzyme catalyzed reaction, how enzyme catalyzed reactions are superior than inorganic catalyzed reaction, and we have derived Michaelis-Menten equation. I mean, the kinetics of enzyme catalyzed reaction is studied, and we have analyzed the Michaelis-Menten equation on various concentration of a substrate and found the change of order from first order to zero order. And we have also learned what is half Vmax concentration, and we have also learned what is turnover number, the number of substrate molecule that can be converted into product by one single molecule of an enzyme is called a turnover number. Okay, and with this we are completing the discussion on the Michaelis-Menten equation. Okay, now let us see what are the factors that influence the enzyme catalyzed reaction. So there can be 3 to 4 factors which can influence, okay, the enzyme catalyzed reaction. The first and foremost is called the temperature. Okay. And the second one is called pH. Okay, and the third one is called activators. And the fourth one is called inhibitor, and the fifth one concentration. So let us briefly discuss these factors, okay, one by one. First, let us take temperature as the factor. So enzyme catalyzed reactions normally takes place at a optimum temperature. Okay. At a low temperature, the enzyme catalyzed reactions are poor. At high temperature, the enzyme catalyzed reactions are very poor and won't take place. Enzyme catalyzed reactions are always maximum only at optimum temperature. For example, for biological systems, the optimum temperature is the body temperature. The enzyme catalyzed reactions are optimum only at a body temperature 98.4 degree Fahrenheit. Okay. Normally, the enzyme catalyst reaction proceeds from 15 to 25 and the maximum of 40 degrees centigrade approximately, and more than beyond 40 degrees centigrade the reaction never takes. Enzyme catalyzed reaction becomes zero. Okay. Why? Upon increasing the temperature, the rate increases, and after the optimum temperature, the enzyme activity of enzyme falls down. Okay. So if you study, okay, temperature as a rate in the y-axis and temperature in the x-axis, it will be like this. Normally enzyme catalyzed reactions will be like this. Okay, this is an enzyme catalyzed. Okay, if you take a normal reaction, inorganic catalyzed reaction, there it increases with the increase in temperature. Okay, there is no optimum or maximum rates, and then it never falls down. Okay, in case of high temperature, the enzyme catalysis falls down. Okay, this is a denaturator and a enzyme denaturation. Okay, the reaction falls like this. Okay, so look at this, the three different conditions. This is an inorganic catalyzed reaction. Inorganic catalyzed reaction. This is an enzyme catalyzed reaction. This is an enzyme catalyzed reaction and denaturated condition. Okay, so upon increasing the body temperature, increasing the temperature slowly, enzyme rate of the enzyme catalyzed reaction increases, reaches a maximum, then it falls down. Why it should fall down? Because at a high temperature, proteins gets denaturated. Enzymes are nothing but polypeptides or proteins. They get denaturated and loses their activity. Okay, so at a high temperature, the enzymes becomes totally denaturated and will not have any effect on the reaction rate, and hence there is a drastic fall, in the reaction rate at elevated temperature. Okay, and next let us see the influence of pH. Most of the enzyme catalyzed reactions are at optimum pH, at a neutral condition. So the reaction reaches a maximum and falls down. Okay, so this is, you can say this is a pH 7. So most of the enzyme catalyzed reactions proceeds at the maximum rate at pH 7. Okay, and a low condition it is very poor, and also at an alkaline condition at high pH it is also very poor. But it is not the case with every enzyme. Some enzymes are active even at a acidic or a alkaline condition. Say for example, your pepsin is an enzyme which is produced in the stomach. This is active even at a pH of 2.0. Okay, your stomach is highly acidic because your stomach secretes lot of hydrochloric acid for the digestion of the food, breakdown of the food particles. So pepsin is active only at this pH of acidic condition. Okay, so that is an eccentric case. Similarly, your pancreas produces a enzyme trypsin, so that is active even at an alkaline condition at about pH of about 9. Okay, but in most of the cases, general cases, the enzymes are maximum at optimum pH, at the neutral condition. Okay. Now let us see activators. Okay. Activators are substances which promotes or improves the activity of an enzyme. Okay. These activators are nothing but minerals or metal ions. Say for example, sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium are the ions which promotes or increases, enhances the activity of a enzyme. Okay. So when you are sick or caught with a fever, your body temperature rises. So you yourself feel poor digestion. Okay, doctor will advise you to go for a easily digestible food. Okay, the main key reason is at high temperature enzymes becomes less active. Okay, so therefore what happens, your digestion process becomes slow. Okay, as a result what happens, so you will feel very difficult for digesting hard food, and hence you are advised to take a very easily digestible food. Okay, but when you take it in the case of you will also feel that your throat becomes very sore and painful, and doctor will advise you to go for gargling with the salt water. Okay, so when you gargle with the salt water, you will feel a kind of relief. You will get a relief from the throat pain. Okay, so that is because the enzymes secretory glands and at the enzymatic surfaces gets activated by the sodium ion in the saline water. Okay, so metal ions can act as a good activators to enhance the metabolic activity. Therefore, it is always best to maintain the good ionic ratio, good sodium, potassium, and other necessary mineral ions in the food. Okay. Next is called inhibitors. Inhibitors are substances which retard the growth of the retard the rate of the enzyme catalysis, such as arsenic and mercury. Okay, arsenic and mercury poisoning retards the enzymatic activity, because these metal ions will occupy the reactive centers of an enzyme and never get detached. Becomes very hard to detach. So and hence the enzymatic activity gets reduced. Okay, antibiotics are also sometimes they are inhibitors. They act as inhibitors, because when you take antibiotics, the antibiotics tries to kill the protein metabolism of the bacteria. They will destroy the protein of the bacteria. Okay, so as a result what will happen, the enzymes which are also proteins, the antibiotics interfere with these enzymes, so you will have the enzymatic reactions becomes very poor. Okay, and the last one is called the concentration of the substrate. So this is what we have discussed it in the Michaelis-Menten equation earlier. So when the substrate concentration increases, reaction increases, reaches a maximum. Okay, and then the substrate, the rate of the reaction remains constant, stable. It never increases further. At a high substrate concentration, the reaction is zero order with respect to substrate. Okay, at low substrate concentration, the reaction is first order with respect to substrate. Okay, so I hope you have clearly learned the very basics of enzyme catalyzed reactions. Okay, this will help you to understand the different metabolic processes, to ponder over the different biological processes or metabolic reactions that are taking place in your body. Okay, your system is a very wonderful gift by the creator, which works for your betterment at all possible ways. Some enzymes works at low pH, some enzymes work at high pH, and your body manages your temperature to maintain all the metabolic processes very active, and as a result you are able to function very well. So thank God we are in a good condition, we are enjoying a good health condition. Thank you. With this we are completing this unit. We will proceed to the next unit after the discussion section in the next class. Thank you.